Thinking back to those sad times. But hey, we're learning. We're learning from the defeat at the hands of EU.
One small ban at a time.
Yeah.
We're very reluctant to change over here. And resistant to it as well. Yorick.
So, in this situation, you could just take support without fully knowing the bot matchup. But if you're really concerned about the bot 2v2, you could just blind top lane for Keen here. I think going support here gives a lot more strength to Keen. Last draft, they didn't put, you know...
Nico Nocturne.
Yeah, Nico Nocturne's really strong.
Oh,
this is a lot of bot lane threat already. I think here you want to try and get an AD carry who has some semblance of safety. Zeri has like the dash over the wall at least. So
it's got to be Zeri.
I think so.
It has
you can just play near a wall, have the prospect of dashing. Galio AD carry is safe. It's safe, but...
yeah, you go in, you get the wild growth, right?
You know, honestly, if I'm thinking the AD carries are difficult to kill, I think Galio is probably up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, Galio mid. That does mean it's going to be that Aurora top. And it adds like another layer of protection for the AD carry.
Are we really playing Draven here?
No, it's not Draven.
You're not playing Draven.
It's probably going to be... I expect it to be the Zeri. I think the dash over the wall, you play near a wall, you can dash away if the Nocturne comes in. And it is the hyper carry element. I think it's the one that makes the most sense. You have the extra threat of the Aurora. The Pantheon has good damage output. You've got good protection. Yes, Zeri is the hyper carry here, but I think it works. And for the side of Gen.G, if you can keep up with them when we get to the late game.
And here we go, game number 2. I would agree with you. You know, I think if we didn't watch game number 1, if this were game number 1, and for some reason we had these compositions for a Fearless game number 1, I would be on the same page. And composition-wise, I still am. I do think that Gen.G, though, after a confident win like game number 1, if you get one team fight win, I can't see them losing with this composition. And again, this comp is very strong from ahead.
I think it's having a rough time so far in this lane. Not having a fun time. I remember it was Keen played Ambessa into Aurora at first stand, into Lion, into Dokla, and went 8-2 and 5. And I remember that because I expected him to have a rough time in the lane, and he just didn't.
I mean,
he did have a rough time early, but then he found
What I will say is Dorn didn't have a great game 1, but I still would favor him against Dokla. Let's just say that.
You favor him with a big Dokes?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay, well, Canyon steals away a camp there, so that's nice. Yeah, so Galio will get to a point where he can kind of just weather the storm against the Annie. Early levels, not so fun. Getting that W shield definitely helps you soak up the matchup, and some MR behind you will go a long way.
It's very funny.
Not having a fun time. It's not fun for Oner.
Nocturne is not necessarily an invading jungler, but our pro teams are very good at understanding priority and utilizing pressure. I mean, bot lane's winning, mid lane is hard winning, and Canyon's like, okay, you can take your wolves. I'm taking your raptors. That's my jungle.
Yeah.
You don't get a jungle.
Leveraging this mid priority very effectively, and Oner's only level 2. I mean, Canyon is as well, but he should be able to pick up this camp with a smite.
Ooh. Pretty close.
Oh, he actually doesn't hit level 3, doesn't get enough of the chickens.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got a massive health lead. And there's no chance that Faker can come over here.
Oner's smite comes up first, though. So Canyon can't really stick around because he won't do the red fast enough. And Oner would be able to smite it first and get level 3, so he's just going to back away.
Okay. Well, Electrocute's going to help out Doran here.
A little dangerous.
And a big wave as well. Keen
little
is
scary.
Taking a little damage.
You know, I saw a similar thing happen to Big Dokes.
Yeah.
So...
he definitely has a much cooler nickname than Doran.
I mean...
I'll give him that.
It is a great name.
Yeah.
But also Doran, you know, he's the guy who stocks all the items. Do you think he gets royalties every time someone buys a Doran's item?
Yeah. I think that's definitely the way that works. Oh! Wow.
That was close.
This is so annoying for Oner. Like, you're playing Pantheon. You're supposed to be the guy that makes plays, not gets play made on.
Faker is very low.
Yeah, Faker might just have to flash away. Instead, he gets flashed on! And an auto! And one more from Keria gets it done, as now, actually Duro, rather, gets it done. And yes, Trophy will go down, but this is a massive win for Gen.G. His pays is super low! And Duro picks up another one. As you see, that Ruler does make his way up a little bit late.
So
and we have a 3-kill Nico.
This was a very weird passage of play. And you know, it's kind of hard to decipher because on the one hand, Gen.G got more kills, but they all went to Duro, and we got a 2-kill Zeri. So surface level,
I'm Team Nico.
This didn't pan out super well because Faker kind of didn't get much value from his abilities. Owen had to flash out. Faker clipped Chovy there and then had to flash away and just died. Duro got the kill. Then Duro gets another kill here, gets a triple proc on the Q bounce. Also gets the root here. But Pays managed to get 2 kills. I mean, if Duro had got 4 kills there, that would have been hilarious. Let's look at the damage. So, Hextech Alternator already for Duro. He's going to have
He got the root on it. Keria, look at the damage.
He's going to have a super early Rocket Belt, which is kind of huge. Very accelerated.
You know, Nico used to be played in the mid lane and build AP.
But look at what Pays came back to lane with. A BF sword. So...
I'm Team Duro.
Okay. We'll see.
But yeah, a little bit of a... I don't know. Should we consult the expert on, like... Do we stamp this one for Zeri? Like, it being 2-1, but, like, your team got very far behind? I really don't know. This is kind of up in the air.
I think the takeaways from this is mid is super far ahead for Gen.G.
Wolf is absent.
Jungle is ahead a little bit, you know. Canyon is ahead in XP, ahead in farm. So even though we're talking about this mid-jungle with the global pressure from T1, they haven't really found a way to leverage that yet.
All right, not a Zeri moment.
Not a Zeri, not certified. Oh.
Does not count.
Ian has ult and flash. What can he do with this?
He's going to have to do something. Wants to clear the wave first, ult backwards. They're waiting for it, and he just flashes away. He's like, yeah, you don't have yours.
Pretty slick, buys the time. And this means Gen.G going to be able to get first dragon of the game. And last game, they just high rolled.
Did you see that spacing? Chovy just barely
avoids the knockup. Yeah. Last game, they just high rolled. It was Hextech, Mountain, and then they got Infernal Soul. This time, the first is Ocean. And Ocean, you know, you get that sustaining lane, but it means it's not an Ocean Soul, so that feels nice. So getting an early dragon, very, very positive.
Oh, man.
Faker is not having a good time in this lane.
All Magic Mantle is doing some heavy lifting, and it's not lifting that much, actually.
Went an early Amp Tome. I thought he'd be going like the MR first item build. You know, people normally go, what's it called? Hallowed Radiance, yeah. Or even just like, you know, early Merc Treads would go a long way in this matchup. Yeah, he is struggling.
I mean, eventually he can press his R button on the pace, but for the meantime, he doesn't do anything, you know? Now he's got Merc Treads.
Maybe he's going for the Rocket Belt.
We do see that there's a big lead not only in mid, but also in jungle.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest lead's in support.
Well, that was specifically CS per minute, but
we
do have a very big gold lead there as well.
And Canyon's level 6 already, so how's that ult available? I mean, Oner is too. Want to see where these globals can get use. I think T1's still doing okay here.
All right, Hayes wants to go for it, and
great disengage.
See, I'm Team Duro. Look at the damage difference.
Yeah, that was a great slip. And he's gonna have Rocket Belt pretty soon.
Yeah. And they're trying to steal some grubs here. Canyon in a little bit of trouble as a little bit means he's dead. The Galio ultimate does come out, but Keen is running rampant on that back line. Jovi's still here, looking for another stun. He's able to lock up Faker, the public execution, and that should be the end of him with no flash on Faker. 2 kills for 1 in favor of Gen.G. And even Keen is going to take a bit of damage on the backside of that.
Just run out of gas in the tank in that one. Oner goes down, but Faker just really not that much of a threat. The magic damage shield as well that came through on Oner. I mean, Keen kills him. Obviously doesn't really care about that. So it's not really a factor. We'll see the replay. So a lot is committed on the Canyon to shut him down. The Torn, the knock-up, the rotation from both the Aurora and Keen just kills the Pantheon, but without committing too many cooldowns. So they still have this stun that comes through from Chovy, the ult from Keen, and Doran's waiting for more cooldowns to be able to do anything. A lot of the sustained damage for this T1 composition comes from their Pays. From their Pays? From their
Pays.
Zeri.
Yeah.
So in these fights without the Zeri, you know, it's hard to carry the momentum through into killing multiple targets if they're sort of even in gold, or, you know, they don't get like a super clean setup. And you kind of saw that. They had to commit a lot of cooldowns to kill the Nocturne, and then they just kind of didn't have gas in the tank to carry that forward. We do have Pays picking up the Yuntal already, but that gold lead he got from those 2 kills got really carried forward significantly.
Yeah.
Only up 100. Meanwhile, Duro's still up 1,000 gold. Nearly has that rocket belt.
Faker in a lot of trouble. Gonna be okay because he is Galio.
Yeah.
But he's not in the lane again. This is nearly a 30 CS difference right now.
Is Duro going to be... Well, he's not going to be the first in the game to have a completed item, but is he going to be the first in his team to have a completed item? He could be, honestly.
I mean, Rocket Belt is OP cheap.
It is very cheap.
Can he buy it before Ruler? Oh, they bought it at the same time.
It was in sync. We need to have like a slowdown photo finish. We need a slowdown photo finish.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Ruler had it first because the little icon on the left went away very slightly ahead of Duros.
I mean, having a Rocket Belt so early as a Nico support feels great. I know it's a cheap item, but supports, they get nothing. It's a tough life.
Yeah. Speaking of Rocket Belts, not going to be able to dodge Keen, as now a ton of damage is already going into Doran.
Oh my god, we just had a confirmed Kraken Slayer was fifth.
Kraken
Honestly,
was
if that was the answer, I'd have rather just not known. Okay, just ruin the fun.
Yeah, G-Sun. Oh, as you know. But the message was delivered by G-Sun.
No, I'm joking, by the way. We should know the truth, even if it hits.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's better to know.
Duro not fit. He needed 4 kills. If he'd gotten that 4th kill, then he would have been first to have it completed.
Yeah. He just never gets the recognition he deserves.
So true, actually.
Always taking the spotlight away from them.
Yeah.
Doran did get a minion. Or rather, Faker. I don't know why is it Doran.
So both teams set up with this dragon now. Would be first for T1. They are at a bit of a deficit. We don't have that many item spikes coming through, but a few here and there. Gen.G starting to move in and contest Vision. Vision setup is going to be so important in this game. There's so many big threats, whether they're on flanks, whether they're finding good angles. There's so much engaged on Gen.G to be respected, but a lot of picks that can play flanks like the Aurora. And it looks like T1 just moving over and giving up again.
Just
Second
roll
game in a row.
No, it's Chemtech.
Double Dragon's giving up. It's a Chemtech Soul now. There are some champions who get a decent amount of value from this on both sides, but generally a lower value Soul. You know, I'm thinking like the Lulu, the healing and shield power.
Okay, we got to play down the bottom side. Ruler in a lot of trouble. Just gets flashed on and killed.
Exploded.
And finally,
that's what he gets for buying.
Shows up.
That's what he gets for buying Kraken Slayer first. You know, as we saw in the picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
But a good pick, good moves. Pantheon finally getting activated with that ultimate to find a play in the bot side. This is what we're kind of hoping for with those globals between the mid jungle. Obviously, just the jungle there.
Oh, he finds it again. These max range hits between worlds comes through, but Keen, he has Hex Drinker and he just doesn't care about Aurora anymore.
He just keeps trading aggressively and not giving Doran a chance to whittle him down by just ulting him and chunking him first. Yeah. Again, this is what he did to Big Dokes, you know. And if Big Dokes can't handle it, then, I mean, who can?
Well, apparently not Doran.
So we'll see the replay. This was just a cheeky trap.
Hide on bush.
Flash polymorph into the flash stun. So a lot of summoners actually ended up being invested there to make the play happen. But it does ensure it's successful. And Keen getting some gold there, some plate access.
I mean, everything considered, T1 not in the best spot in this game, but at least it feels a little closer than game 1.
He just feels so squishy.
Let's go in Rocket Belt next, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's a good item on Galio, right? I think
Baker was always a guy that went for the AP style more often than not.
I just think he needs upgraded Merc Treads, if I'm being honest. It really helps those trades. He's nearly got his quest finished. He's...
It looks like it's finished.
Now.
No, obviously it was...
Oh, yeah, called it.
You were a little bit early, okay? You're kind of rushing. You're rushing a little bit.
Or was I dragging?
Definitely rushing.
Okay.
You know, I watched a video where a guy did a breakdown at every single attempt and whether he was rushing or dragging.
Really?
And the amount of, like, beats on a metronome that he was rushing or dragging. I think he was rushing on every single attempt, actually.
Really?
So... yeah, he was actually just messing with him the whole time so that he could throw the chair.
Yeah, I did get that impression.
Yeah. Such a great movie.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that again, actually. My annual rewatch.
The movie is Whiplash, for people who are wondering. Brendan was just vague mentioning.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just vague posting on the LCK, you know?
Yeah.
That is the meta nowadays.
I hate when people do that, when they just mention around something. You know, it's just for interaction, so people go in the comments and go, oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
God, it's so... That's what social media has become these days. You just...
What does he mean by this?
Be aloof about everything.
Yeah. All right, we got a Pantheon on the loose, but he's going up against a 3-0 Nico. Gotta be careful about that, and Oner is going to not be too happy about that, although Faker does kind of save the day. And a lot of TPs being used, but keep in mind that the Reptile was just taken by Gen.G this entire time, so...
There was so many circles in that passage of play.
And nothing happened.
Nothing really happened. A flash burn from Chovy. That's what we got.
TP from Doran.
Yeah. Herald for Gen.G. But ultimately not really changing the state of the game drastically. Keen will get that plate, take a tower hit for his trouble. Oh, and a rocket belt. Daring today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Dragon up in 40 seconds will be third for Gen.G. And I think on their side, Keen will be the main enjoyer of a Chemtech Soul. He already feels a little bit troublesome to cut through. You give him a Chemtech Soul, not going to feel too good about cutting through him. So we'll hopefully see T1 make more of a considered effort to move towards it right now.
Yeah.
Did just see a Runan's picked up 4 pays, so he gets a second item that actually Runa doesn't have his quite completed yet.
Yeah, looks like maybe he's close.
I think he might have it in base if he sold his coal, but doesn't get a time to reset. Keen, though, he's just... I
mean, you could just give away the Drake.
Yeah,
and give Keen a big sack of gold. I think I would take that trade, especially if I were Keen.
Honestly, he could recall after this tower and then TP in. I think it's too late, probably.
Herald is
he's going.
Yeah, they're just going to press their buttons as the Smite Steal comes in! And they're also going to kill the Pantheon. Here's the Nico in the Nocturne ultimate. The synergy is gigantic, and T1 are just falling apart. Faker's in the front line with Doran, but it's just desperation. They're getting cleaned up. They get a couple of kills, but it's a triple for Ruler. A nice little Yunara moment on top of the Chemtech Drakesoul.
And it was me thinking it was a little bit too late. They just swoop in and clean up the fight so decisively. Canyon's first to make it. The Blast Cone engage with Chovy to follow. Just decimate the Pantheon.
Where's Nico? Oh.
Yeah, Nico with a great engage and the root on a pays into the Ambessa. The split target selection from Gen.G is so good. Chovy and Canyon together, and then the rest of the team working in unison. And in the end, it's only the Nocturne who goes down, and Ruler there to clean up. Like, it's just the fact that they can just separate and split this focus so well. Yeah. So crisp, so good. And I know you're happy to see the Mega Cone, the Engage Cone.
That's how it was meant to be used, you know?
Using it for good, not for evil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you're getting it.
Engaging with it.
You know, I just feel like that's what the creator originally intended. I feel like Gen.G just get it today.
But, you know, this is the composition. This is exactly what Gen.G want to do. They have so many engaged threats, and this was also always the concern for T1's comp. It's like, can you protect your AD carry? It's not just your AD carry. Your jungler got exploded too. You know, this layered engage, multiple members of Gen.G have engaged threats, and the execution. This is what we've missed from Gen.G. You know, they obviously lost to G2 and then seemed to be in a slump coming in week 1. This is the level of play that you know, we've come to expect from them.
Yeah.
And this is them feeling back in form, you know, locking in for the series against their age-old rivals. And now with a 6,000 gold lead, 3 dragons in pocket, it's starting to feel pretty dire. The kind of MO for T1 is you need a fight where things go wrong for Gen.G. There's a mis-execution, not everything connects, and you're able to peel for your AD carry, because if these ults keep hitting, I just don't see a way in with this much of a deficit.
I feel like especially from ahead for Gen.G, like it's kind of difficult now to mess it up. You know, like, unless you engage outside of the paranoia. Like, this is the power of Nico Nocturne, is that you can't really, as you were kind of alluding to, you can't really account for every single piece of engage. Like, the Nocturne's in your front line, but also Nico gets access to the backline because you just can't see her. Like, she's just in the paranoia, in the darkness, and out of nowhere, she gets an ult on your AD carry, and, like, yeah, even if Faker gets the immediate ult after the paranoia's gone, or he's in melee range, even then, maybe Paige just dies, because it's just too hard to deny the Nico, and the Nico's good even without Nocturne. It's just so reliable, and I think for a team like Gen.G, I just don't see them messing it up in this game, especially from ahead. Like, now you've got a fed Yunara. Like, you have the backup damage after the engage. And speaking of which, they're gonna go straight for Paze, and he gets over the wall. So that's why we picked the Zeri.
Gets away, and you know, in this situation it's fine, but if you're in a fight and that happens, you're out the fight. You know, you're chunked out, you're not able to contribute. And once you lose that Zeri damage, I think the comp's gonna struggle. So T1, you know, dragon up in a minute. And again, it's not the highest priority dragon, but you're already in such a deficit, you're already struggling to make things happen. You give that extra power to Keen, and
go next, fast.
Yeah. I think there's some champions, you know, I mean, this was always my criticism of Chemtech Soul, is that, like, it just felt like a lot of the roster just doesn't do that much. But there's some champions that it is just insane on. You know, I mean, Aatrox was always a good example.
Yeah.
But considering Ambessa is so shield-based, and she gets this heal and shield power from those 2 dragons that she has in pocket, and, you know, she's so hard to cut through, so she does actually get value from the durability. She doesn't just get bursted. I think she's going to be immortal. I mean, is she already? Maybe, perhaps.
Kind of feels that way. I mean, especially with the
nice
early...
little Tibbers save.
Ooh.
You know, earlier in the game, there was a fight. I think it was like the first fight on the top side, where Fake was like dead, and he just, his last act was killing Tibbers for the 50 gold. And I like how there's this little cat and mouse now. Fake is like, give him that 50 gold. Jovi's like, no, no, no.
I mean, sure, he can have it at this point.
No.
This Canyon is... okay, they're going to control the bush. And that's going to be key. Engage from Faker just gets flashed away by... Oh, the flanking! And Bessa straight into that backline. They're trying to peel for the Zeri, but Canyon is right on top of him. They take down the Lulu as the Pursuing Worlds does come in, but the ult from the Pantheon is late, and there's the Nico. Fights the two of them, and that'll be the end of this fight. And maybe just the end of this game as Gen.G just absolutely stomped them at the Dragon.
I mean, Pays even did nearly 6,000 damage, and it's just not enough there. You know, Faker tries to fish for that initial pick on a Chovy. Not able to get the taunt, and Keen has this great flank. They have this brief pocket of vision for T1. They fly in, going for Pays. Keria dies as a byproduct. But then when the engage comes through, Hero gets this beautiful counter, the double root as well, and the follow-up is immediate from the rest of Gen.G. The target selection from this team is just flawless.
That's Baron.
I think, you know, Soul in hand, Baron, a 12,000 gold lead. I think this game seems pretty on lock right now. Ruler even has a QSS in pocket. It's starting to get to luxury buys at this point.
Yeah. It's time to, you know, pick up that Magi's if you're Chovy or Duro, obviously.
You know, that's... I'm sorry, I love Duro. I think he's a great player, but, you know, you got those 3 kills early, didn't buy a Dark Seal. Yeah. I don't know, man.
That's kind of lame. Maybe that's why there's no justice for supports.
You take that back.
Well, Oner's like, I wish I could play the game. And I was really trying my best to summon a somewhat close game. And instead, we got an even more one-sided game.
Yeah.
It's 12,000 gold lead for Gen.G, 25 minutes into the game.
Only had one 3-gamer
so far
in the LCK regular season.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And it was Gen.G from behind against KT.
Maybe it's my fault. I really tried to summon it with this one. You know, I think I just cursed it.
You just griefed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Not your
specifically,
first
no,
time.
I cursed it.
Oh.
And Chronicle's probably in chat saying, curses unreal.
He would say that, wouldn't he?
Sorry, Bozo, that's why you don't work here anymore.
Yeah. Rip.
Rip Bozo.
Got him.
Yeah. That's actually a requirement of working here. You have to acknowledge the existence of curses.
Yeah.
And be very careful about your usage. Intentional or not of cursing things. So I apologize on this day for potentially cursing the series. It is looking pretty doomed, but, you know, we'll see if T1 can pull off a miracle defense right now.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we try to curse it, and it just doesn't work. This time, they're just going to kill Faker, because at this point, they're just so far ahead, you just attack the front line.
I think Tibbers is tankier than... Yeah, Tibbers is tankier than Faker.
He is alive. Tibbers, that is. And,
look at him heal. Look how much health he's getting back.
Yeah,
that's OP.
That doesn't seem fair.
Look at him go. Does he have a Warmogs?
I think he must.
Oh my god.
Takes a little bit, and then he starts regenning out of control.
No, no! Chovy! He just let him die.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bad Chovy.
Just gave him 50 gold. Now they're only 14,600 gold ahead.
Well, Faker tries his best. But wallets do be wallets.
Yeah, he just got nuked. Yeah, and then Tibbers, he's just built different.
Yeah.
He is that guy. We have 2 minutes until Elder. Okay, here's the game plan for T1.
Okay, I'm listening.
Wait for Elder. Steal it. Win.
Yeah.
3-step plan.
So, no vision, you just send Pantheon.
Yes.
And Oner smites it away.
Correct.
So, there's only one plan, right? What if Gen.G are just like, we're not going to let you do that plan. We're not even going to start the Elder Dream.
You go into all chat and say, by the way, Elder is up.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually. I didn't think about that. That might work.
Yeah. Or you say, dance party at Elder.
That always gets them.
Yeah.
They always fall for that.
How can they resist?
It's just too much fun.
Oh, big damage.
Yeah, Pays is trying his best. He's trying to get in there. And Gen.G, actually, they say, we don't like this engage. We're not ready. And Duro's going to find the Aurora, and Doran is going to hit the floor, and that is going to be the end of this game. As Pays, you know, he's got some good damage. He's clearing the wave. You know, they don't have Baron. Credit to him, but you're 16,000 gold behind. So
He's trying.
The game is over.
He's really trying. He's still got sums. He's going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Wheeler has to respect him, honestly. A little bit of stepping up there.
So who's your POM for this game? Series?
You mean for the series?
Yeah.
POM, not POG.
Yeah, not POG. Well, that was a nice Tibbers. That'll be the end of them, and that'll be the end of this game as Ruler gets a nice little shield bow shield, and they'll take out the turrets, and they will take down T1, and Gen.G looks like they're back in form.